against just the new parcels, or is the capture again, is there any capture against the 68 homes that have already been developed?
They originally actually asked for that, but that's not permissible. In order, this is the eligible property. In order to include many of the plans that you've seen before, we include adjacent and contiguous properties inside that plan, but those adjacent and contiguous properties have to add to the value of what's being done on the eligible property. In this case, it's the opposite, so that the capture on those homes would not be eligible.
Okay. Second question, this may be better for Laura Fell, if someone can answer it. Do we have a clause for either completion of the homes and or infrastructure? I'm familiar with this builder. I live in a subdivision that they developed, and 20 some odd years later, there are 5 parcels that are not developed, do not have sidewalks on it. The LLC has closed down, so they've walked away from this one because it got 95% of the way to completion. And we've seen that time and time again with the various developments where parcels are not built on, and then we don't have completed streets. We don't have completed sidewalks. So I'm not certain, before you sign this, Mr. Mayor, as a condition, to have some sort of requirement that if these homes are not complete, the roadway is already there, or I think substantially is already there. But there needs to be some time frame, because what you end up having is kids riding their bikes in the street. People are not able to walk around our neighborhoods. And I know we've talked about, we haven't had, I don't think, any newer developments come before this council, but it goes back to Labana Woods, goes to, Highland Lakes, which won't get into that side subject, but I think there's good news there. But in particular on this one, and in particular this developer, we want to make certain, that they don't take the money, then close down the LLC. Because I believe this is probably something like Cypress Garden MJC LLC? So are we having the development with some sort of entity that can walk away at any point in time?
I believe it is a single purpose entity. I will tell you that I have drafted a reimbursement agreement that is not before us tonight. That would be when you formally take action. This is not like Midtown or Highland Lakes where we paid up front. This is, if they don't build it, they spend the money up front, and if there are no increments that are generated, then they're not going to get any money. So, and I capped it at 4 years because that's what they said they were going to do. So, I mean, as far as other than that, I think it's more of a zoning issue. I can't do any more.
I know, I'm just
tightening down on mine than I've done.
Okay. Well, just wanted to bring that up, and it's, of course, MJC as a whole, but there's certain things that, as we look at things, we need to kind of tweak them as we go forward.
I agree, and I think phase 1 is completely sold. So I think if this is approved, that portion would probably get sold. So I think that's a good contingency to put in there, that upon the start of the next phase, that sidewalks are, completed, I think we can definitely cross that bridge.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Councilwoman.
When does the tax capture start? Start right on signing or completed, or when does that start?
Through the chair, the base year would be this year for what the assessed value is on as of today, and then as it move forward, the increased taxes when it starts rolling on. So we set the value today, and that whatever grows from today up is the captured value.
Okay.
Councilwoman.
Because they own it now, right? So
Yes.
right? So they're getting their money back from the taxes right now.
No, they haven't,
No, because the Tifa, right, if they're paying, say, $50,000 this year, so the assessed value is $100,000, they're paying on $50,000. It's only when that goes above $100,000. So if it goes to $200,000, then they would be paying they'd still be paying the $50,000, and then the $50,000 additional would be cash. It's only the increment, so. Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Yeses have it, motion carried. I'm sorry. Actually, it's I was looking at this, I'm like, wait a second, 7.1 was the public hearing. Let me take a moment and make certain, are there any members of the audience that would like to speak on this proposal? This is the opportunity as part of the open hearing, public hearing. All right, we're going to check online. Just as a reminder, any individuals, ADA, for any reasons, we have continued the online comment submissions in compliance with ADA regulations. And certainly just to allow anybody to submit questions. There are no questions, which means we can close the public hearing. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close. Support.
Motion by Councilwoman Grandana, supported by Councilwoman Rose. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Yeses have it, motion carried. The public hearing is now closed. That brings us to item 7.3, which is a motion to approve opening the public hearing to present the program year 2023 Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report, CAPER, for the Community Development Block Grants.
Motion?
Support.
Motion by Councilman Witten, supported by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion on opening the public hearing? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Yeses have it, motion carried. The public hearing to present the program 2023 Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report for the Community Development Block Grant is open. Please go right ahead.
Thank you, Council, Mayor, members of the public. This is our annual report that we report on the previous program year for the Community Development Block Grant Program. Happy to report this year that we have substantial spending from our program, which was excellent because we completed a lot of projects. I know the last couple of years there hasn't been much to report on, but it takes a little while to get traction with our action plans and our make sure all our projects are fulfilling our consolidated plan as well. I'd like to thank the mayor, the administration, council, all the staff in the city that I don't do this alone. It happens with a lot of effort from our city staff and administration to keep the projects rolling. Hennessy and Paula Fisher, my colleague. So I'd like to thank all those individuals at this time for a successful block grant year.